Welcome to the Sheet of 3 YouTube channel where we talk all things credit, good, bad, and in between. I want you to know everything about credit so you can use it to your benefit. Today's video is gonna go over the 5 best secured credit cards that graduate. These cards level up. Now, before we get started with the video, I need you to do me 3 favors, y'all. 1, 2, 3. The first thing I need you to do is like this video because I already know you're gonna love it. The second thing I need you to do is subscribe to the channel. If you have already, then share this with a friend. And that's the third thing. Number 3, that's the third thing I need you to do is go ahead and share this with a friend who you know either got no credit, bad credit, in between credit. They figuring it out. So listen, we're gonna get into the 5 best credit cards that graduate. Now, before we start, you have to understand what the secured card means. What is a secured credit card? Well, first thing you gotta understand is a secured credit card just means that the bank don't trust you and they don't know you. And the only way they could trust you is if you put up your money. So a secured credit card means you gotta put up your money. And when you put up your money, then they will lend you some of their money because they have your money. Got it? So once that happens, the bank will extend you a credit line. And that credit line will stay secured once the bank still has that collateral. So as long as the bank still has your money, that credit line is secured. The moment that credit line becomes unsecured and it graduates is when the bank gives you back your money. The reason why they keep their money is because they don't know you yet. So if you run off on the plug, they got the bag. However, when they get to know you and you start to actually use your habits and show that, hey, I understand credit, I can use credit to your advantage and work in your system of using my card, paying it back, then they say, okay, here's your deposit back. We'll open up your lines of credit to the max capacity that we have available or to what is affordable to you. So you might go from a $200 credit card to a $5,000 credit card at that time. That's a secure credit card. When it graduates, this is when it goes from secured, meaning that you had to put down collateral, to unsecured, meaning you don't have to put down any collateral. The card is free, okay? It is, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. So once you understand that once the card gets free, you're able to do certain things. When you have a secure credit card, it's like a grown adult riding around on a bicycle, okay? And you got the tricycle wheels on the back. You got this big boy bike, but when they look in the front, it look all good. When they look to the back, like, yo, you got tricycles on your joint? That's what it's like when you have a secure card longer than you should. So at this point, you need to take the training wheels off. The bank needs to give you your money back and that card needs to graduate. Once that card graduates, now you're open. Like you're not stuck into that secure credit card limit. You're not stuck here. You're actually able to grow now. So that max capacity, maybe you couldn't get that card higher than $1,000. Now that card is in a different category. You can go 10,000, 15,000, 5,000, 25,000, whatever it is. The next thing you have to understand, this is the best part about these banks I'm going to give you today. This is the super sauce. So if you pay attention to nothing else in this video, this is the sauce. So number 5, numero 5, Andrews Federal Credit Union Platinum Secured Visa Credit Card. This credit card, the security deposit is $500. As I said, when they start you with a limit like that or a deposit like that, that means that the security deposit for that card is $500. And like I told you before, if they start you off with a limit like that, that just means that the security deposit is $500. And like I said before, that just means that that will end up being your credit limit. This card does have reward points inside of Andrews Federal Credit Union's ecosystem. It's not like the typical Chase and all that travel benefits, but it does have reward points that you can collect, which a lot of starter cards do not have. And you're able to actually grow within Andrews ecosystem. Now, if you follow me on YouTube, Instagram, or whatever, you know I love credit unions because they are member based. So they're more incentivized to please you, the member, because they want you to bank with them. And in this case, this bank will actually help you grow within the bank. So you can change out of this card. Now, typically, you can get your deposit back within 6 months. Now, listen, to get your deposit back, you have to be on your best behavior, not your worst. You have to be on your best behavior. I suggest you put something on auto pay that you typically pay, either like a cell phone bill, and have that card paid off every single month to 0. And after 6 months, you can revisit and call the bank and say, hey, is it possible that my card can go unsecured? Sometimes it happens beforehand. Sometimes you have to call, but you want to stay on top of it. This episode is brought to you you by Kudos. Join Kudos, the #1 app in helping people maximize their credit card reward benefits. Kudos has helped over 200,000 people get almost $150 million more in reward benefits from your credit cards. And you already know Sheeta 3 is going to tell you to build your credit the right way. How about using the free app Kudos to help you spend the money you were going to spend anyway the right way? Join Kudos. Don't say I didn't give you the sauce, because this one is a good one. They got you. Get your Kudos rewards. Number 4 is the DCU Visa Platinum Credit Card. Now, again, you want a card that will unsecure within 6 to 12 months and it graduates. DCU is a great bank when it comes to building your credit because they have multiple products that you can level up and graduate to. They have lines of credit, they have higher limit credit cards, and they have a business side. You can also get loans with them. And their rates are typically lower because they're a credit union. So DCU is definitely a bank that you want to have on your radar when it comes to having secure cards or building your credit. Number 3 on the list of secure credit cards that graduate from secured to unsecured is Discover It secure card. Now, Discover is a good bank because, again, they allow you to graduate the card from unsecured to secured, and you're able to grow that card with you. So you can start off with a $500 secure credit card with Discover, and that card can grow. It will unsecure, and now that card would unlock itself. I have had students who started out with $500 credit lines with Discover, got that line up to $3,000, then that line up to $12,000. And to be honest, your goal is to really get your credit limits over $10,000 so that you maximize your funding on your personal side. That's really the goal. So we want to see these cards graduate, level up, and these limits start to increase. Number 2 on the list of secure credit cards that graduate from secured to unsecured is the NIHFCU Visa Platinum Secure Credit Card. NIHFCU is a little known bank that has nationwide reach. So you can actually grow that small secure card all the way up to a big boy card, $25K and plus, and you keep the age. And remember, your goal is to unsecure this card within 6 to 12 months. Call them up and say, yo, can I get my deposit back? And they're gonna be like, no. And you're gonna be like, hey, it's been 6 to 12 months. And they're gonna be like, I didn't know. Here you go. Let me take the training wheels off for you. Now, it's not gonna be that exact conversation, but I'm just letting you know it's really that simple. Once you have a secure credit card and you're in one of the programs that I'm telling you to be in, they're not gonna hold your money. There are banks out here, especially in my video on the worst credit cards to build your credit with, they keep your deposit, like they don't return it. It's come hella high water if they wanna return it. So you wanna make sure that you're starting with institutions that you know within a 6 to 12 months time of good behavior with your card, meaning using the card and paying it off, that they're gonna unsecure the card and give you back your money. It's time for number 1, the winner, the absolute winner. Baby, you're a winner. Take your 12 pounds. Winner. All I do is win, no matter what. The winner of the best secure credit card that graduates goes to Navy Federal. Navy Federal is the bank that takes the cake. So the Navy Federal N Rewards Secure Credit Card. This card is super dope. First of all, it's a starter card. Yes, you have to be in Navy Federal in order to get it. But if you live with somebody who's in Navy Federal or you're related to somebody who's in Navy Federal, you can get access to Navy Federal by just asking them to refer you in. It's really not that big of a deal. However, this secure credit card is probably one of the best ones when it comes to graduating all the way through. Like, you can product change. And again, with the NIHFCU card that I gave you, you can product change that card up into the big boys. And with Navy Federal, you could do the same thing. And you can do this within a 15-month period. Like, you can graduate this card from secured to the creme de la creme with good behavior, good seasoning, and actually building out this card. So like I said, within paying the card off, using it, paying it down, 3 to 6 months, you can graduate that card again. Using it, paying it down, 6 to 9 months, you can graduate that card again. You can get the highest card with Navy Federal in less than 15 months just by graduating this card. You have to understand it's all about relationships, and you have to build the right relationships with these banks. You have to show the right behavior. They're looking at what you're doing. And when it comes to Navy Federal, they have their own internal credit rating and credit score. So they're looking at how you're behaving with them. And if your behavior with them is good, a good way to like kind of show you what this means is, you know, you go out with, you know, mommy and daddy, and the kids be wilding out with mom, or when they go to dad, dad's like, yo, well, they don't act like that with me. That's kind of how Navy Federal is. Not saying they don't look at your other credit cards or your full credit report. They look at your full report when they're bringing you in. But for the long term, they're looking at how you act with them, how you act at grandma's house, how you act with that one parent, how you act with that one teacher. Like, for example, with me, the kids be wilding out in the other classrooms, and I'm like, well, they don't act like that with my classroom, because they're looking at what's your relationship with them internally. So I want you to really think about that as you look at this list. I hope you wrote it all down. And if you didn't, run the video back and get this in, because when you're building your credit, like, do not start with those trash started cards and get stuck in a cycle of defeatism. We want to use your credit profile as a tool, and the best way to start off is to have the right foundation. So these are the best secure credit cards that graduate. If you have no credit, meaning you got nothing, if you're building your credit, these are the cards you want to actually use to help grow your profile. And if you can't get into Navy Federal, I gave you 4 others to go to. There's no excuse not to build good credit. So again, if you like this video, go ahead and share this with a friend that you know is also trying to build their credit. Because listen, you gotta each one teach one, reach one, baby. Let's go. She the 3's out of here. Another day, another life. She the 3 is out of here in 5, 4. She the 3, 2. You have a beautiful and blessed day, y'all. Be great.